So can you actually just deeper describe what non-interventionism means? So how much sort of display of military strength should be there, do you think?
Dr. Paul said we could defend this country with a couple of good submarines, which, by the way, for people who don't know, one American Trident sub could essentially kill every city and military base in Russia. Just one. So he's absolutely right about that. A couple of good submarines are enough to defend our coast and deter anyone from messing with the United States of America. And then I admit I'm a little bit idealistic about this, that I think of that old William Jennings Bryan speech, Behold a Republic, where unlike the empires of Europe, burdened under the weight of militarism, here we have a free country. And where, you know what we could do? We could be the host of peace conferences everywhere. There are frozen conflicts in the Donbass, in Kaliningrad, in Transnistria, in Taiwan, in Korea. Virtually all the borders of Africa and Eurasia were drawn by European powers to either divide and conquer their enemies or artificially group their enemies together in order to keep them internally divided and conquered in those ways. So there are a great many borders in the world that are in contention and that people might even want to fight about. And I think that America could play a wonderful role in helping to negotiate and resolve those types of conflicts without resorting to force or even making any promises on the part of the U.S. government, like we'll pay Egypt to pretend to be nice to Israel or anything like that, but just find ways to host conferences and find resolutions to these problems. And I think quite sincerely that Donald Trump right now could get on a plane to Tehran. He could then go to Moscow, to Beijing and Pyongyang, and he could come home and be Trump the Great. We, in fact, don't have to have, especially the American hyperpower, as the French called it, the world empire. We have everything to give and nothing to lose to go ahead. And Donald Trump even talked like this. You might remember when he first was sworn in this time, he said, you know what, instead of pivoting from terrorism to great power competition with Russia and China, I don't want to do that. I just want to get along with both of them. Let's just move on and have the rest of the century be peace and prosperity and not fighting at all. Why should we have to pivot to China? Let's just pivot to capitalism and trade and freedom and peace. That's America first.
Yeah, I've criticized Trump a lot, but I think maybe it's just rhetoric, but I think he talks about peace a lot, even just recently. The number of times the word peace is mentioned and with seriousness, not you get like a genuine desire for peace from him. And that's just beautiful to see for the leader of this country.
And look, man, there used to be a time when a third of the planet was dominated by the communists, right? So like, I'm not going to sit here and argue the first Cold War with you. My book's about the second one, and I'm not as good on the first. But since the end of the first Cold War, we have let the neoconservative policy of the Defense Plan and Guidance of 92 and rebuilding America's defenses and the rest of this American dominance-centered policy control our entire direction in the world. It's led to the war on terrorism in the Middle East. 7 countries we've attacked. It's led to the disaster in Eastern Europe, and it's leading toward disaster in Eastern Asia when there's just no reason in the world that it has to be this way with the commies dead and gone. And again, to stipulate here, the Chinese flag is still red. It's still a one-party dictatorship, but they have abandoned Marxism. I mean, people were starving to death by the tens of millions there. It's probably the greatest improvement in the condition of mankind anywhere ever in the shortest amount of time when Deng Xiaoping and the right wing of the Communist Party took over in that country.